Hi guys, welcome to my channel. We're going to be watching Lost Season 1 Episode 17. This is called In Translation. Actually, it was ... in translation. If you guys would like to follow me on Twitter or would like to get early access to my reactions or watch the full reactions over on my Patreon, the links are down below. Let's get into this episode.
내 딸과 결혼하려는 이유가 뭔가?
지금은 보잘것없는 시고 출신이지만 제게는 야망이 있습니다.
자네 아버님은 이 결혼 대해 어떻게 생각하시나?
돌아가셨습니다.
꿈을 그렇게 쉽게 파는 사람에게 내 딸을 왜 줘야지?
따님은 제 꿈이니까요.
Don't go yelling at her for being in a bathing suit, for crying out loud.
정신이 나갔어? 빨리 나와.
I don't know, he just walked up and started going off on her again.
에이.
왜 그래요?
이제 남편 말이 말 같지 않아? 이제 너랑 상관이 없는 일인데 왜 끼어들어? I swear to God, you put your hands on her one more time. 네가 뭔데?
Woo! I think she's just trying to save him from having the fight.
저 녀석하고 무슨 일이 있었어?
아무 일도 없었어요.
6개월 후에 경영수업을 마치고 가자. 약속할게. 그땐 우리가 꿈꾸던 멋진 신혼여행이 될 거야.
You must understand
Look, all I
that
understand is that I gotta get this raft finished so I can get my boy out of here and take him home.
when I slapped you, I was protecting you
Oh yeah? From what?
from Jin. You don't know what he's capable of.
That's what I figured.
It's yours.
So listen, I know things got kind of nasty down there at the beach, and I don't want to get involved in husband and wife stuff, but I figured, you know, you might need to relax.
Oh, come on, Hurley's trying, man. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. You want to be an outsider? It's your business.
Do you have a past in the Navy you've neglected to tell me about?
Why?
Well, how does a woman like you learn how to tie a perfect bowling knot?
By dating guys with sailboats? Maybe we should get some rope, spend a Saturday night alone together, and see what happens.
I only got room for 4 people. It's one open spot.
Took the other one.
What's the matter, Doc? Feeling left out? Bought myself a ticket on this little tub.
You sold him a spot. I need to hail you to the mast.
Oh man, I don't think it's going to be so easy to get off the island just getting on a raft. I don't think it's going to work.
He wasn't always like this. He was so tender. And then he was different. What changed him?
Her dad? Somebody just ran by the tent. Something's going on.
Hey, Charlie, what's going on?
The raft! It's on fire! Look!
Oh no! Did you do it, Locke? Did Locke set the freaking raft on fire?
Where is he?
I didn't even think about her husband. But why would he?
Where is he? He doesn't know. Jim did this. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Sawyer? Shut up.
Why would he though? Because wouldn't he want Michael to go away? So it doesn't make sense why he would burn the raft. I don't get it. Oh, he's burnt. Maybe he did do it. But why?
좀 다쳤어요.
당신이 그런 거예요? 마이클은 이 섬에서 우리를 탈출시키려고 노력하는데 왜 그런 사람...
마이클. 환경차관 말씀이십니까?
오늘 밤 메시지를 그에게 전달해주게. 내가 섭섭한 점이 참 많아서 그래.
당신 누구시죠? 안녕하십니까. 저는 권진수라고 합니다. 무슨 일로 오셨죠? 백 회장님 밑에서 일하고 있습니다.
우선 이쪽으로 앉으세요.
Oh god. Please tell me he didn't get that dog from this family. The one that he gave son. Looks like the exact same dog.
제발 부탁합니다. 우리 딸 앞에서만은.
Hey, it's Hurley on the TV.
회장님이 굉장히 섭섭해하시는데요.
그래요?
He thought he was there to beat him up.
고마워요.
어떻게라도
That's probably what the dad wanted,
하는데
but he doesn't realize that yet.
전 이거 받을 수 없습니다. 받아주세요. 제발 받아주세요.
Okay, so he didn't take it. The guy gave it to him.
고맙습니다.
It's very possible your sister and I are going to become more than just friends.
She likes older men, guys who can take care of her. She'll make you feel like the greatest guy ever while you get her food, whatever it is she needs. And when she gets what she wants, she move on.
Is he gonna have that handcuff on his wrist forever?
What's going on?
Perhaps you should find another friend to help you with your shelter.
You've been talking to my brother, haven't you?
Because if you do, like him, what's it got to do with your brother? You're a grown woman. Sure, you can yell at Boone till you're blue in the face, but all you're doing is giving him what he wants.
Everyone gets a new life on this island, Shannon. Maybe it's time you start yours. 함정씨 집에 이 사람 데려주죠. 이 사람 하는 거 보고 잘 배워.
여보, 빨리 피해.
여보,
잠깐만, 내 말 좀 들어봐. 우리 지금
내일 바로 공장 문 열어. 내가 당신 목숨을 구했다는 걸 명심해.
Okay, so now we know what happened with all the blood. He did it to save that guy's life. Someone speak. What if Walt set fire to the boat because he didn't want to leave?
손을 좀 봐.
leave him alone! He didn't burn your raft.
Well, he knows he speaks English now. Finally.
Your raft was already on fire when he arrived. He burned his hand trying to put it out.
We're so intent on pointing the finger at one another that we're ignoring the simple, undeniable truth that the problem isn't here, it's there. They've attacked us. Maybe it's time we stopped blaming us and started worrying about them.
I don't trust you, man. I like you a lot of the time, but I don't trust you. That's what I was expecting.
You're gonna build another one?
Yeah, a better one.
Can I help?
No doubt you can help. Come on.
I was going to leave you. But you made me change my mind. You made me think that you still loved me. 처음부터 다시 시작하고 싶어. 우리 새롭게 시작해요.
Oh, is that his dad? His dad didn't die? Or wasn't dead? He just lied? Why?
죄송해요, 아버지. 아버지가
He was ashamed?
울었어요.
Yeah. So
괜찮다. 너는 내 아들이야. 네가 무슨 일을 하든 상관없어.
다시 시작하고 싶어요.
아니 그럼 왜 다시 못해?
그리고 미국으로 가. 응? 그래서 너희 결혼을 살려라.
come on, take your father's advice. Save your marriage. She wants to.
그러게 난 너무 늦었어.
Go off and be stupid.
What was that for?
Everyone gets a new life on this island. I'd like to start now.
Yep, Dad.
Did Walt do it in Loch Nose?
Hey, you mind if I ask you something?
Sure.
Why did you burn the raft, Walt? Don't worry, I'm not gonna tell. You must have had a really good reason.
I don't want to move anymore. I've been moving places my whole life. I like it here.
Boat.
It's like freedom. Oh no! No! The battery die? Okay guys, so that was the end of episode 17 of season 1 of Lost, and this one we got to see a lot of Jen. In House of the Rising Sun, we saw Sun's part of their past, and in this one we saw Jen's half of that, like the same, it's kind of like the same timeline, like what he was doing at the same time she was doing what she was doing in that episode. So in her episode, when he came home covered in blood, it seemed like he was, I don't know what you would call it, but you know, he was somebody who beat up other people for her dad, and that's pretty much what he is or was supposed to be. But initially he didn't do that. He just gave the warning without physical violence, because that's just not who he is. The dad wasn't happy, he was angry, and so instead of just beating the guy up, he was sending somebody over there to kill him. And so Jen, in order to save the man, save his life, and possibly even the life of his family, because I don't know if the guy would have taken out the family as well, he went in ahead and he just beat the crap out of the guy. And so that explains that. And he just wouldn't tell Sun because he didn't want to tell her the way her father is. I guess I'm not sure how to translate, which is funny considering the name of this episode. When he was talking to his dad, whether or not he thought she would hate him and not her father, or he'd rather her hate him and not her father. So if somebody could like tell me what they think of that, you can do that. I'm okay with that, because I wasn't quite sure his thinking behind not telling her. There was another thing, when he had asked her father for her hand in marriage, her dad asked him what his father thought of the marriage, and he said his dad was dead. Turns out that wasn't true. And I guess the reason that he said his dad was dead is because he was ashamed of him, because he was a fisherman, I guess. But his dad seemed to not take it personally. He seemed like, you know, okay, whatever, you're here now, you're my son, I love you, kind of thing. And he told him that you know, he wanted to start over, like he didn't want to be working for Sun's father. And his dad's like, well, why don't you? You know, why can't you just do it, you know? And he said that her dad wanted him to deliver some watches in LA, I think it was, which would make sense because that's where their plane was headed. And his dad's like, fine, then let that be the last thing you do for him, and then you just leave. Sort of what happened. Not really, but you know, he's not working for him now. But he's also not with his wife either. But that was his choice not to be with her. She begged him to let them start over, you know, where they are now. And I think he was going to, but when he went to take the backpack off, his hands are still hurting from being burned, and he changed his mind. He's like, it's too late, and walked away. And he didn't walk away, you know, looking mad. He walked away in tears, you know, like she was in tears. But you know, maybe this will be good for them. Maybe they'll find their way back to each other. Maybe they'll move on. I mean, she seems kind of happier. I mean, yeah, she was sad in the moment, but at the end, you know, she was able to wear a bathing suit without getting screamed at, and she seemed quite happy. It was like freedom, you know, it was like this weight lifted off. And so yeah, that's what I got from that. Jen went to Michael and offered to help him rebuild the boat, and Michael seems like he's gonna take him up on that. Speaking of the boat, the raft that they were working on caught fire, And initially I thought it could have been John. I didn't say for sure it was John, but it could have been, because you know how he doesn't want to get off the island. When they blamed Jin, it didn't make any sense to me. Because if he had a problem with Michael, let's just face it, he had a problem with Michael. But if because of that, why would he? Because Michael was leaving. Why would he burn the only chance to get rid of the guy? You know? So it's just, I didn't buy it, but then he was burnt, and I was like, okay, maybe he did. And then I thought in my head, you know, maybe he tried to put out the fire, but then why didn't he say anything to anybody? And then, I don't know, there was something about Walt's face when there was the fighting between Michael and Jen. That made me like think for a second that maybe Walt did it because he didn't want to get off the island, which, you know, in the end turned out to be exactly what happened. He burned the boat because he likes it there. He's tired of moving. So I don't know, but you know, it did throw me off a little bit because, you know, I said that, and then later on Walt offered to help Michael build a new boat. So I was kind of thrown off. I was like, I didn't say anything out loud, but you know, I was thinking, I was like, well, maybe Walt didn't do it. Maybe John was right, and one of the other people, you know, did it to keep them there on the island, which was a good possibility, but I don't know. But like I said, I like John. I like John a lot, but I don't trust John. Just something about him, I don't trust him. And yeah, so I always kept that thought in my mind that maybe John did it. But John knew who did it and confronted Walt about it at the end there. So, but you know, being John, he's gonna keep his mouth shut. The only other thing I think really happened this episode was Saeed and Shannon. Saeed went up to Boone and didn't ask him, but just let him know that, you know, maybe him and Shannon were going to be more than friends. And Boone like gave out this warning, like, you know, my sister doesn't really like you, you know, you're an older guy, you can take care of her, and when she's done using you, she'll move on. And you know, in the past maybe that was true, but as John told her, you know, everyone gets another life here, you know, maybe you should start yours. So that's exactly what she did. She made a move, kissed Saeed, and now they are a thing. So I'm not hating it yet. But yeah, so I really like this episode. I enjoyed this one a lot. I think this one ranks pretty high on my top episodes so far. But I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction. If you guys did, please give this video a like. If you have any suggestions on anything you'd like me to react to, please leave that down below. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.